know Utah's gun laws? Think again. Most people are carrying wrong and don't even know it. Let me break down exactly who can carry, where, and what'll get you arrested fast. Chapter 1. Permitless and provisional carry in Utah. If you're 21 or older and legally allowed to possess a firearm, Utah lets you carry a gun openly or concealed, loaded or unloaded, without a permit. That also includes carrying inside your own vehicle, as long as you're lawfully present. If you're 18, 19, or 20, your rights are different. You must apply for and receive a Utah provisional concealed firearm permit to legally carry concealed. Without that permit, you may only open carry in limited locations, and only if you're not in a prohibited place. If you're 21 or older, permitless carry does not mean carry everywhere. Let's talk about the places where it's still illegal. Chapter 2. Prohibited locations and restrictions in Utah. Utah law spells out specific places where you cannot carry a firearm whether or not you have a permit. Kindergarten through 12 schools, you must have a standard Utah concealed carry permit to carry. Permitless carry and provisional permits are not valid on or about school premises. Daycares, you can't carry inside rooms where care is actively provided. You may carry in other areas if not posted and not a secure facility. Colleges and universities, you must have a valid Utah concealed carry permit, standard or provisional. Out-of-state permits may be recognized in some contexts, but permitless carry is not allowed on campus grounds. Secure airport areas. No firearms beyond TSA checkpoints, no exceptions. Private homes and churches, if you're told not to carry or if signage is posted, you must comply or it's criminal trespass. If you're under 21 and caught carrying concealed without the provisional permit, here's what happens. Chapter 3. Utah under 21 laws and penalties. If you're between 18 and 20 years old, listen up, this part matters. You can only carry concealed in Utah if you've applied for and received a provisional concealed firearm permit. No permit? That's a problem. Carrying concealed without it is illegal and could land you with criminal charges. How serious depends on the situation. The provisional permit is the only legal way to carry concealed until you're 21. Once you're 21, Utah's permitless carry law kicks in. Now let's talk about vehicle carry because this is where a lot of people mess up. If you're 18 to 20 and you have a provisional permit, you're good to go. You can legally carry loaded and concealed inside your vehicle. Same rights as a 21-year-old with standard permitless carry. But if you're under 21 and you don't have that permit, carrying a loaded or concealed gun in your car could get you charged. Even if the gun is visible, you're in risky territory. The law only clearly protects you if you're 21 or older or have a permit. The law draws a hard line here, so carry smart or risk getting jammed up. Chapter 4. Utah traffic stops and duty to inform. You're driving, you're armed, and you see red and blue in the mirror. Now what? First off, Utah law does not require you to tell the officer you're carrying unless they ask. There's no duty to inform written in the law, but I'm telling you, they don't forget to ask. And let's be real, if you're carrying, the smartest move is to stay calm, keep your hands visible, and wait for instructions. If and when the officer asks whether you have a weapon, you must answer truthfully. That's not just about courtesy, it's about protecting yourself legally and physically. If you do have a permit, some people like to hand it over with their ID as a heads up, but that's optional, not required. I tend to do that, and everything seems to go swimmingly. Bottom line, Utah gives you room to stay silent, but staying respectful may keep a stop from turning into a misunderstanding. Chapter 5. Utah self-defense and prohibited persons. Not everyone can carry, even with Utah's broad gun laws. Utah prohibits firearm possession by convicted felons, anyone under a qualifying protective order, those adjudicated mentally incompetent, drug addicts, fugitives, and federally restricted persons. Let's talk about one of the most important parts of carrying. What happens when you actually have to use your gun? Utah is a no duty to retreat state. That means if you're somewhere you're legally allowed to be and you're not committing a crime, you do not have to run before defending yourself. Here's the law in plain English. If you reasonably believe that someone's about to kill you, cause serious bodily injury, or commit a forcible felony like a rape or kidnapping or armed robbery, then you're allowed to use deadly force to stop them. The key word here is reasonably believe. That means your judgment has to make sense to a jury, not just to you in the moment. You can't provoke a fight, you can't be breaking the law, and you better be able to explain why you thought lethal force was the only way to stop what was about to happen. There's no magic shield just because you felt threatened. Your belief must be reasonable, immediate, and specific. Utah law protects defenders, but it doesn't protect reckless shooters. That's why training matters, just as much as the weapon on your hip. Now, what about campus rules? rules. Can schools override state law? Chapter 6, Campus Carry and University Policies in Utah. Now, Utah law allows concealed carry on college campuses with a Utah permit, standard or provisional. Now, here's where it gets more detailed. Even if you do have a Utah permit, not all areas on campus are fair game. If a space is marked as a secure or restricted area, you still can't carry no matter your permit. So think certain research labs, event venues with screening, or admin offices with restricted access. These zones are protected by statute and enforced just like a courthouse or airport screening zone. Permitless carry and out-of-state permits are not guaranteed valid on Utah campuses. Now, while the law allows other state permits in some areas, public colleges follow Utah's rules and they recognize Utah permits only. Campuses cannot create blanket firearm bans, but they can mark secure restricted zones where carry is still prohibited. So what does the future look like? Chapter 7, the future of Utah. Now, alright, let's zoom out for a second. In 2025, Utah cleaned up some of its gun laws, mostly reorganizing things for clarity. But the core rules, they stayed the same. If you're 21 or older and not legally prohibited, you can carry openly or concealed without a permit. Check. If you're 18 to 20, you still need that provisional permit to concealed carry. Check. Now, school zones, secure zones, and posted private property are still off limits. Okay. And permitless carry still doesn't fly on college campuses. Okay. But let's be honest, laws don't live in a vacuum. The recent shooting of Charlie Kirk at the Utah Valley University sent shockwaves through both political and campus communities. He was murdered during a public event on school grounds. The laws in place didn't stop it, and now people are asking the wrong questions. Should campus security rules tighten? Should schools have more power to restrict carry even with permits? Is it time to reconsider who can carry where and how? None of that's settled yet, but we're already seeing the ripple effects. Lawmakers are eyeing 2026 with a new tone. There's talk of new rules around firearm screening at public events, tighter definitions of restricted areas on campus, more clarity around out-of-state permits, and yes, whispers of potential red flag style legislation, even though Utah doesn't have that now. Let's follow this closely. Now, that's Utah's gun laws as they stand today. Broad freedoms, but with sharp edges. Want to carry smart and stay comfortable? Go to relaxedfittactical.com, where you can find yourself concealed carry sweatpants, EDC shorts, and awesome Patriot shirts. Drop your state in the comments so we can break that one down, and don't be lame, subscribe.